This video is about a new feature that we call TriggerClip. So TriggerClip actually can paste a clip by typing a few letters. So both of those items, TriggerClip, the first item, and the explanation, the next item, were both done using TriggerClip. Now, the way this works is that any clip that we make, let's look at a clip manager here. All right, let's go here. Okay. So in the history, we cannot make trigger clips, but all the permanent clip sets have the possibility of being trigger clips. And as you can see, this area here they're like settings for the trigger clip itself are not in the history. So you can, and I have, made URLs, which are very hard to type. I think everybody's done it before, and I have a lot to do for the Plum Amazing site, and some of these are about CopyPaste. For instance, let's see, this one here is for iClock. Okay, we'll just do iClock because it's easy. So for this, for each trigger, you need to turn it on, checking this. You don't have to give it a title, but it's helpful because eventually we'll add a chart for these so that it can remind you which one is which trigger. And then the trigger has a reminder built into it that you can see here. So the semicolon means, for me, anybody can do it any way they want. It means that this is going to be a URL. So all the URLs that I've put in here, I've started them with a semicolon, which is very easy to type because it's under the little finger on the right hand. And then IC stands for iClock. So this is the page on the Plum Amazing site for iClock. So if we type that here, like this, with a semicolon and IC and a space. Oops. Let's try that again. So semicolon, IC, and then a space. And then it saved me time in typing that whole item. So you can use this for any one of the clip. Like I have URLs here, but somebody might have 500 different clips of different poetry. So their poetry clip set could all be handy for them. Say a professor in a college who wants to reference various poems by Walt Whitman or Emily Dickinson or any of the other poets. And then they could be, because they're famous and classics for him, he would work out a kind of a mnemonic for typing them. So you can do it with 2 letters or more. And so for personal information, we have a variety of info here. This one is an address for a person. And the mnemonic in this case is, the trigger is my address, MYAD. So that is an important thing, that the trigger is not something that you type all the time. Like you couldn't call this AND, for instance, because you're often typing AND, and it would mean that every time you type AND, then it would type this person's address and drive you crazy. But here, if you type MYAD and a space, then you type his address or your address, which could be longer and save you, again, a lot of typing. You can even use it for small things. Like for instance, for my first name, I can type that. And for my full name, I can type JM. So anything is possible, and everything, almost everything, you can save time on, especially if it's something very, very large. For instance, this stands for Latin, lorem ipsum. So that entire thing was pasted, and I only had to type 2 letters. So this is handy, and this is TriggerClip, and I'm just going to explain very quickly here how we do that. So TriggerClip preferences are here. So if you download CopyPaste and you go to General Clips, then you can turn it on here. This is the general one, meaning that if you turn it on here, then it will appear in the clip sets. And you can choose some defaults like space after clip and plain, so it's not, the items are not formatted. And you can have a sound for that, for a trigger clip when it works. That's pretty much it. There's more in the manual, but I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for watching.